A good Wednesday, everybody. I'm meteorologist Ben Derry. Thanks for checking out KARE 11 Plus. It's pretty much been a rinse and repeat forecast all week long. We don't have a big change in temperature, but we remain in this cold Arctic air mass through the rest of the work week. That being said, we've said it a lot this week, despite the cold, it is a dry air mass as well that tends to lead to a good amount of sunshine. And you can see that sun is very high in the sky today. It'll be out through probably the rest of the week before we see any clouds starting to return on Saturday. That's when we start to see at least a little change in our forecast. And for what it's worth, despite the still low sun angle, we've actually gained over 50 minutes of daylight since the winter solstice, which was late last December. So it is getting a little higher in the sky, the sun that is, and it'll continue to get higher in the days longer as we head into the rest of January and the rest of February. Clear and cold all week long. Arctic high pressure is in firm control of the region. You can see the smoke is still blowing right here, the steam. So we do still have a bit of a wind chill, but it's more of a tolerable wind chill as the wind is anywhere between 5 and 15 miles per hour. As the surface high pressure moves on top of us, the wind should be more or less light and fairly variable moving forward. A weekend warming trend is ahead. We're looking at daytime highs rising into the teens Saturday, even 20s as we head into Sunday. And it looks like that warmer air could linger through the first week of February, so looking forward to that. Light snow is possible on Sunday as we enter this pattern shift. Not a lot. It's a clipper system that could give us an inch or so of snowfall, though even that might be a bit of a stretch. Let's take a look at your main weather headline for today. It's about the cold temperatures, single-digit highs and overnight lows in the single digits below zero. This is what we'll have to deal with at least through Friday, but again, the sun will be out. 18 on Saturday, 25 on Sunday, which is seasonal for this time of year. Actually near average high temperatures as we wrap up the month of January and head into the new month. Let's take a look at the temperature and wind chill map for the rest of the day today. Notice single digit temperatures through this evening. Wind chill values with that lighter northwesterly breeze still below zero, but only single digits below zero. And as we head into tonight, air temperatures will drop into the single digits below zero as well. Teens below zero for wind chill values, but it's not anything that we haven't seen already numerous times so far this season. Let's talk more about this pattern shift because for the most part, our air has been coming right from that north or northwesterly direction. The origin of the air that's been over us, true Arctic origin. So it's some of the coldest air in the northern hemisphere that pushed its way south. We saw a bitter cold weekend last weekend, and that cold air has just kind of been lingering or at least reinforced Arctic air. Once we get into Friday, you're going to start to notice some warmer colors build into the Canadian prairies. This is not Arctic air. This is not air that came from the Arctic. It actually originated from the Pacific Ocean. So it's modified Pacific air that's crossing over the Canadian Rockies, pulling into the Canadian prairies and eventually pushing on into our area this weekend and beyond. And notice that Arctic air is shoved out of here, and we do have that more seasonal, more temperate air moving overhead this weekend and beyond. So take a look at the difference the weekend makes. Remember last weekend, Saturday, we stayed below zero all day. Sunday, collectively, we spent 6 hours above zero with a high temperature of 4. This weekend will be noticeably different. Pretty close to average for this time of year. Saturday will be a little bit cool, but at least that wind will be on the southerly side. That will lead us into a new month. This is a monthly preview for February. February tends to be a cold and snowy month. We average about 9.5 inches of snowfall through the month. We gain daylight at a faster rate as we edge closer to the spring equinox, which is in March. So we actually gain roughly an hour and 20 minutes of daylight through the month of February. So we start to see that daylight start to come back more rapidly, and the average high temperature rises from 24 degrees on the 1st to above freezing by the 28th. And it's also interesting to note, too, that by the end of February, we tend to see our last sub-zero day of the season. It's still more than a month away, but it's, again, something to look forward to as we continue to deal with these Arctic temperatures. Lots of sunshine today, some lower clouds making their way through the Arrowhead and the Iron Range with no snow coming out of that. We don't have any snow in the forecast anytime soon. We'll see clouds starting to thicken as we head into Saturday, and again, some light snowfall in the forecast for Sunday, but again, it doesn't look like much. It's a clipper type system, and they tend to not bring us huge amounts of snow. Let's talk about your forecast for today. Lighter wind, Arctic sunshine, northwest wind should calm to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So daytime highs in the single digits today, with the wind chill value likely hanging out in the single digits below zero. That'll take us through the evening hours. These are forecast highs region wide. You can see single digits up north, a high of 0 for places like Bemidji and Grand Rapids, and you can see teens and low 20s for far southwestern Minnesota. We are not going to get a dose of that warmer air again, at least until we get into the weekend. These are forecast lows for tonight. Once again, another night below zero around the Twin Cities. Metro core looking at single digits below zero, maybe just outside the metro core, could be in the teens below zero as measured in St. Cloud, 14 below, Brainerd up down to 15 degrees below zero. Clear sky, light wind. That tends to mean colder nights. Here's the rest of your forecasts. If you've been out and about at all today, tomorrow is pretty much going to be the same. Similar case for Friday. Once we get into Saturday, might be sub-zero to start off the day, but notice we start that warming trend. And again, once we get into that warmer air, I use kind of that warmer air in air quotes, it's going to be around for a while. Sunday, 25 degrees. We should see highs in the 20s through the first week of February, and also a couple of snow chances first on Sunday, and again, light snow on Tuesday.